another break, and so I went to something lighter. I'm just going to start off by saying I did give this a 4. I would have given it a 3 out of 5, but then there were parts of this that I was like, I really enjoyed that. I was like, it was a lot of fun. So it didn't get a 5 out of 5 because there were some slower parts where I just felt like maybe we didn't need as many of the slow parts, and then when things were actually going crazy, we're going down, it's like those sort of ripped by. And so having just read Suzanne Collins' Hunger Game, I kind of got into this pace of writing, which is, YA audience. It clips along, you know what I mean? And so I feel like there's a bit of that going on here, but it's not really YA. But when there's action scenes, it feels like YA reading. That's kind of the best way I can explain it. So 3 out of 5 for the parts where I was like, I don't know why this is valuable to the story. Sometimes there'd be a little nugget in there, which would be important, but I didn't feel like that was always the case. It felt like it was more, there were parts of the story that were trying to like weave in the history of America, history of Abraham Lincoln, and like the real stuff, I didn't say the author, but Seth Grahame-Smith had to weave in parts of the vampire part of this, right? The axe wielder, Lincoln. And I thought that it was clever. I enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it. I want to watch the movie now. That's kind of, I remember seeing the trailers going, that this is kind of crazy. It feels a little bit like, I feel like there was like rapid edits and high cuts. Like, and I was like, I don't know if I really enjoy that. I think it might be fun, but I don't want to go out of my way to watch the movie. After reading this book, I would probably watch the movie. I think it would be enjoyable. I mean, Poe pops up in this, one of my favorite people of all time, Edgar Allan Poe. And it's like, and maybe that's like the thing is like, there's like these little moments where he runs into this dude and there's like a cool little exchange there about death and stuff like that. And it's like, Poe is kind of like, not addicted to death, but like he perceives death in a whole different way. And there's just a nice little, like a strange mirror parallel kind of idea going on there, philosophical kind of just stuff thinking. But I'm not really explaining myself correctly there. In any case, Abraham Lincoln is like, hate all vampires, kill all vampires, but then, and that's a bit of a spoiler, so I want to be careful there, but there's a little bit of a rigmarole. There's a little bit of a, not twisty twist, but kind of a twist, but it happens early with vampires and Abe. But yeah. That's why it didn't get a 5 out of 5, because I felt like the parts where it could have gone really dark and it could have like contextualized a lot of Abraham Lincoln's vampire huntery part. There's like, this is split into 3 books, right? There's like the early years of Abe as a kid, and then there's the vampire hunter Abe in the second third, and then the last third, it's kind of like him becoming president. And then things kind of have to be brought together with the Union and stuff like that. And when I say that, you might think it means something else, but it's kind of something else and something else. The point is, I would still recommend it. It's a 4 out of 5. I think it's a fun read. I think it's a good break of sorts, because it's playful in its dark moments, and it goes so quickly past those dark moments that it didn't get a 5. There's like a slavery component of this, which does weave through the entire story, and it's kind of dark, and I don't want to spoil like the moments that it happens, but I'll say that there's like a really major moment that happens with vampires and slavery and stuff like that, and like slavery is like embedded inside the American history, like America as a new land for the vampires to feed is like, it's all kind of connected to slavery being like easy livestock sort of thing, and it being like this new land where there was infrastructure to support them. I sort of being like the creatures that they are, being able to kind of not be hidden anymore, hidden in plain sight was another way of looking at this. And I thought like, I wish they went deeper into exploring that and really, really like unraveling that and just really like giving us some plot that was woven into that whole angle of it. But it's tilted more towards, I guess, the real history stuff, even though this the other stuff that's not history is woven into that. But it just gets more and more subtle by Act 3. That's what I'm saying. It's not as crazy as like Act 1 and Act 2. I felt like we're just a lot more fun to read, I suppose. Okay, so I'm gonna move on. Abraham Lincoln, there you go, there's that one.